Come on over here. Come on over here. Make it flip me off. Come on, coward. Come on. You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
This is UNSC Pelican Echo 216. Can you hear me? This is UNS...
Bloodborne: The Old Hunters review. A DLC for the Bloodborne. A Bloodborne DLC. The Old Hunters review. What the fuck? As soon as I've finished the game, pretty much a day later, I've started playing the DLC, The Old Hunters. I've heard a lot of things about it. A lot of people tell me it's just like it's very difficult. Now, there are a lot of bosses are very challenging as well, but when I've faced off Ludwig, well, he wasn't that difficult. I managed to kill him all by myself in one go.
You serious?
Well, with the sacrifice of so many of these blood vials, and that already kind of gave me a bit of a question. Holy shit, will be able to do this? Thankfully, since I already have gotten a platinum trophy for the Bloodborne vanilla game, I was already over leveled. I think. Currently, as of level, I'm 140, even above that, but that's when I was starting up the DLC. As we begin at the beginning areas of the expansion, like it will be very familiar to all the Bloodborne veterans. You start in what looks like an even creepier cathedral world, but things quickly change into something new entirely. I was worried we would see a lot of the reusing of the environments, but that isn't, oh my god, is not the case at all. Exploring and seeing new areas is a huge reason why I love this game, and that is here a full damn force, and I love it. Early on, so you are like tasked to fight multiple hunters, which were one of the most annoying enemies to fight in the base game that I personally found. But now, they're a lot easier this time around, and once you get into the initial area, you start to fight all sorts of new and returning enemies, which is way better. Wanted to mention that there are actually 16 new weapons contained within this expansion, which covers an entirely range of different types of weapons. That's actually quite nice. Well, obviously, I'm gonna have to mention some of them are slightly different, versions of the past favorites. Let's say as a saw cleaver. There's so many cool weapons that are totally different than anything seen in the main game. In particular, the whirling, god, what a name. Yeah, this gun.
Whirly Jigsaw. Whirly Jigsaw.
And a Holy Moonlight Sword. My favorites are both awesome. It's just a small shame they're all start completely unupgraded, so for them to actually be effective and not just fun novelties, you will just have to spend some time upgrading them. But that really was not an issue for me. Straight up, upgrade, and you know what goes next. The game also switched up the previous expansions by actually including a shield that isn't completely useless, as well as the brass knuckles you can use instead of a weapon. Now, I have to mention this. As always, the game, it's just incredible, it sounds incredible, and the level designs are also incredible. There are so many stunning, eerie, very creepy environments to discover, and one of the best parts about this expansion is just how much is completely optional. If you stray away from the path from time to time, you will discover entirely new areas that you wouldn't even see otherwise. It's similar to the vanilla game, and I love it. At one point, I went down into this dark hole, which resulted in me discovering a new area that contained a brand new weapon I would have otherwise missed. And now there are also previous bosses from the main game just chilling down there, acting like normal enemies, which was a great touch of a rather scary moments that you just like, oh...
Pancake.
Oh yes, another interesting area is the I think it's called Labyrinthian Room, filled with long and winded staircases that sometimes lead to pretty much nowhere. As it starts out incredibly confusing, but you slowly starting to understand the layout and what you must do to progress. Truly the only sort of the level design from software are pretty much are capable of. Should mention this, there are 5 bosses in total, 1 is optional, which is a good amount considering that the original game had about 17, I believe so. And also for the price of the entry, I think it was like $20, I would say that's very goddamn reasonable deal. And also considering the amount of the new weapons and areas that add to the replayability of this game is a small price to pay for to the fans of this incredible game. And mind you, I got the Bloodborne Game of the Year edition, so that's awesome. I wanted to talk a little bit about the new bosses themselves. They are all really good and well done fights. The first one is by far and perhaps maybe considered to be the hardest, which shows that From Software haven't lost their twist sense of humor, and they also put a really mean trick later in the game which was very uncalled for. I'm not gonna mention it. Overall, they are all worthy new adversaries for you to fight and wouldn't have felt out of place in the main game. Now, before I played the old Hunters, I was a little bit hesitant of getting into it so quickly. There have been a lot of forced and unnecessary DLCs for the games I've liked recently, such as like an Arkham Knight, you know, that were so poor. Actually changed the way I felt about those games. I really didn't want this to happen happening to the Bloodborne, and thankfully, oh my god, and thankfully, it has had the opposite effect. After beating the DLC, I now find myself finishing off and you know, this game. Okay, I'm really liking it a lot, and wanting to even stick around and just help other players so I can play with all my shiny new weapons as well. This expansion is everything it should have been, and it really is. It has provided me with more entertainment in a game I love, but perhaps more importantly, reminded me why I love this game. Now, as well, a consideration: if it's worth the picking up. What? The game is quite old, well, not that old, 4 years as a making anyway of this recording. Pick it up. Pick this damn DLC up. If you already have finished the Bloodborne, my god, you are missing out. For real, it's a bloody fun game. I would have given like a 9.5 out of 10 just alone for the DLC. Bloodborne already receives like a 9 or 9.5, wow, mixing up the words, typical. But anyway, it's a great experience, and I highly encourage you to check it out. Alright, well, I'm done for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys later. Have an awesome day, and yeah, have a good one.